When was the last time you played a Rockstar game and thought, meh, that was just okay. I'll wait.
Maybe when your mother's finished mourning your father, I'll keep her in black, on your behalf.
Exactly. You can't, because it's literally never happened. We're talking about a company that has a perfect batting average. No misses, none, zero, zilch. Think about that for a second. In an industry where even the biggest studios drop absolute stinkers, looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077 launch, Fallout 76, the entire Battlefield 2042 situation, Rockstar just doesn't miss, ever. But why? What's the secret sauce? Why do we lose our collective minds every time they drop a 60-second trailer that shows basically nothing? Why did we analyze the GTA 6 trailer frame by frame like it was the Zapruder film? Today, we're diving deep into the Rockstar phenomenon. And trust me, the story behind how Grand Theft Auto became the biggest entertainment franchise in history is way more interesting than you think. Let's rewind to the early 90s. The gaming industry is still baby-sized. Most games are about plumbers saving princesses or space marines shooting aliens. Everything is very black and white. You're the good guy, you save the world. Roll credits. Enter Sam and Dan Houser, two brothers from London who grew up watching their mom play damsels in distress in gritty crime movies. Their mother, Geraldine Moffat, literally acted in films like Get Carter, an X-rated look into London's criminal underworld. So, yeah, these kids weren't exactly raised on Disney movies. Here's a fun fact. When Sam Houser was just a kid, he met jazz legend Dizzy Gillespie at his dad's nightclub. Dizzy asked little Sam what he wanted to be when he grew up. Sam's answer? A bank robber. Not a firefighter, not an astronaut, a bank robber. This kid was built different from day one. But here's the thing, and this is crucial. Sam and Dan Houser didn't know how to code. They weren't programmers. They weren't game designers. They were just creative kids who loved hip-hop, crime movies, and the idea of living out these cinematic adventures. Now, while the Houser brothers get all the glory, and don't get me wrong, they deserve credit for what came later, the actual game that started it all, that was built by a small Scottish company called DMA Design. Picture this. It's the mid-80s in Dundee, Scotland. A bunch of computer nerds form a group called the Kingsway Amateur Computer Club. Among them is a guy named Dave Jones, who's tinkering with game development on platforms like the ZX Spectrum and later the Amiga. These guys made Lemmings. Remember Lemmings? That puzzle game where you guide little dudes to safety? That game sold 50,000 copies on day one back in 1991. In today's terms, that's like selling tens of millions. DMA Design was legit. So Dave Jones and his team at DMA Design start working on this new concept in the mid-90s. They call it Race and Chase. The idea? Cops and robbers, but in a video game. You could choose to play as either side, driving around in this top-down view. Now here's where it gets interesting. The early versions of Race and Chase were kind of trash, actually. The game engine was buggy as hell. It would crash constantly. The team literally had to draw maps of city streets by hand because the game couldn't handle the map design process. But then they discovered something important. Playing as a cop sucked. You had to follow traffic rules, stop at red lights, avoid pedestrians. Boring. So they scrapped the two-team concept and went all in on playing as the criminal. And this is where the Houser brothers enter the story. Sam Houser was working at BMG Interactive, basically the video game division of a music company. He was only making like 120 pounds per week, working out of a forgotten back room with Nerf darts flying everywhere. When Dave Jones from DMA Design showed up to pitch this chaotic cops and robbers game, Sam immediately saw the potential. Finally, someone was making a game that felt like the movies he loved. The chaos, the violence, the edge. This was what gaming had been missing. Sam told his team, "Once we made you able to down policemen, we knew we had something that would turn heads." Other members of the team were worried, but Sam said, "F it, just put it in the game. I don't give a F what people think." Now that's the Rockstar attitude right there. Okay, so here's one of my favorite gaming facts of all time. You know how in GTA, when you get a wanted level, the cops go absolutely psycho trying to take you down? How they ram into you at full speed, causing insane crashes and mayhem? That was a bug. I'm serious. During development, there was a glitch in the code that made police cars just ram into the player instead of trying to pull them over properly. The team tested it and thought, "Holy shit, this is way more fun." So they left it in. To this day, the aggressive GTA cops that we all know and love, that 5-star wanted level chaos, it all came from a happy accident. The team at DMA Design and Rockstar refused to follow a strict formula. When something cool happened, even by accident, they rolled with it. Let's talk about something important. Before Grand Theft Auto, you didn't really get to play as the bad guy in games. Sure, there were anti-heroes and morally gray characters, but you were always ultimately the good guy saving the world. You were Mario saving the princess. You were the space pilot defending Earth from aliens. You were the hero. GTA said, "F that. You're a criminal. Go steal cars, run over pedestrians, rob banks, and cause mayhem." There was actually an obscure arcade game in the 1970s called Death Race 2000, where you could run over virtual ghosts with your car, but it got banned for being too controversial. GTA took that concept and turned it up to 11. In the original GTA, running over pedestrians gave you bonus points. Let that sink in. The game literally rewarded you for being a psychopath. And you know what? We loved it. So why do we enjoy playing as the villain so much? It's actually pretty simple. Games let us do things we can't do in real life. We can't steal a tank and go on a rampage through downtown. We can't rob a bank and escape in a high-speed chase. We can't be criminals without, going to actual prison. But in GTA, it's a consequence-free sandbox of chaos. Got a bad day at work? Boot up GTA, get 5 stars, and see how long you can survive. Stressed about bills? Steal a supercar and launch it off a ramp. Angry at the world? Well, there's a whole virtual world you can take it out on. The genius of GTA is that it understands this fundamental truth. Sometimes we just want to be bad, and that's okay, as long as it's in a video game. Plus, there's something deeply satisfying about the freedom. Most games put you in a box and say, "Follow this path, complete this objective." GTA says, "Here's an entire city, do whatever the hell you want." Now, let's talk about how Rockstar marketed the first GTA, because it's absolutely brilliant. Instead of trying to downplay the controversial aspects of the game, they deliberately amplified them. They hired a publicist named Max Clifford. This guy had worked with Frank Sinatra and Muhammad Ali. And his strategy was simple: create a moral panic. Max started calling up politicians and telling them about how crazy and violent this new game was going to be. 6 months before the game was released, a member of the UK House of Lords called out Grand Theft Auto by name, listing all its controversial features. The Daily Mail called it a criminal computer game that glorifies hit-and-run thugs. And you know what Rockstar did? They turned those quotes into advertisements. They ran radio ads featuring clips of British politicians talking about how dangerous the game was. The message was clear: if the stuffy politicians hate it, you'll love it. It was genius. Absolutely genius. Fast forward to 2001. The Hauser brothers are now fully in charge at Rockstar Games, and they're ready to make history. GTA 3 was a massive risk. They were transitioning from top-down 2D to fully 3D open world. The PlayStation 2 was new, 3D game development was still being figured out, and they were setting the game in Liberty City, basically New York City. Dan Houser wrote the script, creating a cohesive narrative throughout the game. They did motion capture, hired recognizable actors, and built an entire living, breathing city. And then 9/11 happened. The game was set to release in October 2001, just weeks after the terrorist attacks on New York City. Rockstar had to make some changes. They redesigned emergency vehicles, changed the cover art, and disabled collisions on planes at the airport. Sam Houser said, "This beautiful city has been attacked, and now we're making a violent crime drama set in a city that's not unlike New York City. My God, I'm terrorized where I live, and on top of that, we've got this fucking crazy game." But they decided people needed to play. They needed an escape. GTA 3 launched and changed everything. It scored 97 on Metacritic, beating Metal Gear Solid 2, Devil May Cry, and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. It sold nearly 2 million units by the end of 2001 and eventually moved over 14 million copies. The game was revolutionary, full 3D open world, satirical advertisements throughout the city, pedestrians with unique dialogue, radio stations that built the world while you drove. It was all completely new to the GTA franchise. After GTA 3's success, Sam Houser had a vision, a trilogy covering 3 iconic cities. GTA Vice City would be Miami in the 1980s. Sam was obsessed with this idea. He rented out an entire movie theater to show the team Scarface. He ordered every Miami Vice VHS tape he could find. Everything had to be period accurate. If you drove a Ferrari, it had to be a 1986 Ferrari Testarossa Spider. They got Ray Liotta to voice Tommy Vercetti, even though Liotta didn't play video games and was trying to get away from gangster roles. The Houser brothers took him to Peter Luger's steakhouse in Brooklyn, and during dinner, Liotta suddenly went quiet, stared at them, and said, "Why the fricking are you laughing?" They were terrified. Then Liotta burst out laughing and said, "I'm fucking with you," a scene straight out of Goodfellas. Vice City sold 17.5 million copies and became the fastest-selling game of 2002. Did you know? Ray Liotta won an award for his voice acting in Vice City, and during his acceptance speech, he joked, "For some reason, I've had trouble my whole life convincing people that I really am a very nice guy. And now that I'm in Vice City, well, forget about it." Then came San Andreas. Set on the West Coast in the 1990s, this was the most ambitious GTA yet. They did actual field research, driving around LA, taking pictures of corner stores and barber shops. They went to gun ranges in Vegas. They secretly recorded what gamblers said at casinos. Sam Houser was known for passionate outbursts when things weren't perfect. One colleague said, "That's the only reason the games are so good. Make great games, forget about the bull, and we'll triumph." That's his philosophy. San Andreas added swimming, vaulting, better shooting mechanics, character customization, and a map so big it felt like 3 games in one. It scored even higher than Vice City and sold over 20 million copies. Did you know? In GTA San Andreas, you can make CJ fat by eating too much fast food, or buff by working out. The game was basically a life simulator before The Sims was cool. GTA 3, first fully 3D, open world with a cinematic story. Vice City, period-accurate atmosphere that transported you to the 80s. San Andreas, RPG elements and character customization. GTA 4, revolutionary physics and a mature, complex story. GTA 5, 3 playable characters with interweaving storylines. But it's not just GTA. Max Payne. Bullet time that became a genre staple. Red Dead Redemption. Dynamic events and NPCs that felt real. LA Noire. Motion scan facial capture so advanced that games still haven't caught up 18 years later. Table tennis. Yes, really? Hair physics in 2006, that still look good today. Rockstar doesn't follow trends. They set them.
I wanted to retire, from what I was doing, you know? From that line of work. Be a good guy for once. A family man.
Let's talk about what really makes Rockstar Games special. The stories. Dan Houser was the secret weapon. While Sam handled the business side, Dan crafted narratives that could stand alongside the best crime films. Each GTA game had complex characters with real motivations, social satire that was funny but sharp, stories that commented on American culture, memorable moments that stuck with you. Think about it. The bank heist in GTA 4 inspired by Heat. Trevor's introduction in GTA 5. If you know, you know. The betrayal in GTA 3 that kicks off the whole game. The all we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ. Mission everyone loves to hate. These weren't just games, they were interactive crime dramas. While Dan wrote the stories, Sam Houser is the true driving force behind Rockstar's success. Sam's management style is unique. He doesn't lay down the law or be difficult. He brings enthusiasm and energy. He doesn't take no for an answer, but does it pleasantly and aggressively at the same time. One former developer said, internally, they categorize competitors' products as second-tier games, but at the same time treat them as if they were all GTA. Thus, the bar is raised for everyone. Rockstar treats every game they make like it's going to be a masterpiece. Even table tennis, even a manhunt, everything gets the full Rockstar treatment. Sam once said, "We produce a reasonably small number per year, about 8 to 10 games that we make with a lot of love and care that we want to play. We've got quite specific gameplay objectives and a desire to make things that really don't fit into existing genres, but kind of move the barriers and the kind of games people are playing onto another level." That's the difference. While EA pumps out the same FIFA every year, and Ubisoft copy-pastes Assassin's Creed, Rockstar takes their time and makes art. You know what's wild? Rockstar barely markets their games. Think about every major GTA trailer. It's usually about 60 to 90 seconds long. Shows almost nothing concrete, leaves you with more questions than answers, gets analyzed frame by frame for years. Then they go silent, radio silence, no tweets, no updates, no gameplay reveals, nothing. And what happens? We do the marketing for them. Hundreds of YouTube videos analyzing every detail. Reddit threads breaking down every frame. People literally using moon phases to predict when the next trailer drops. The GTA 6 trailer broke the internet. It became the most viewed non-music video in 24 hours, beating Mr. Beast. And all it showed was 2 characters, Vice City location, some alligators, a general vibe. That's it. But it was enough to generate billions of dollars in hype. Steve Jobs did this with Apple products. Take something out of an envelope to show how thin it is. Create a vivid, memorable image without overwhelming people with details. Rockstar learned this lesson perfectly. One powerful image beats 100 gameplay trailers.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room, GTA 5. Released in September 2013, this game has sold over 200 million copies. That's more than the entire populations of most countries. It's the second best-selling video game of all time, behind only Minecraft. But here's the crazy part. It sold more copies in 2020 than in any of the previous 6 years. The game got more popular over time. How? GTA Online. Instead of making GTA 6 right away, Rockstar built out an online mode that became a cash printing machine. Shark cards, the in-game currency you buy with real money, have generated billions for Take-Two Interactive. Some people hate it. They're milking GTA 5 instead of giving us GTA 6. But you know what? It worked. GTA Online is still one of the most played games in the world, over a decade later. And while everyone was complaining, Rockstar was quietly working on what might be the biggest game ever made. Alright, let's talk about GTA 6, because this is what you're all really here for. As of right now, GTA 6 has cost Rockstar $2 billion. Not million, billion, with a B. That's before they even start marketing it. It's already the most expensive video game ever made. The game is set to release in November 19th, 2026. We know it's set in Vice City again. There are two main characters, including the franchise's first female protagonist, and it's going to be absolutely massive. But here's where things get interesting, and a bit concerning. Dan Houser, the guy who wrote every major GTA story, left Rockstar in February 2020. He got burnt out from the brutal development cycle of Red Dead Redemption 2. Before he left, he said something pretty telling about GTA 6. It's really unclear what we would even do with it, let alone how upset people would get with whatever we did. Both intense liberal progression and intense conservatism are both very militant and very angry. It is scary, but it's also strange, and yet both of them seem occasionally to veer towards the absurd. It's hard to satirize for those reasons. Some of the stuff you see is straightforwardly beyond satire. Translation? How do you make an edgy, satirical GTA game in 2025 without getting canceled by everyone? It's a legitimate concern. GTA has always pushed boundaries and made fun of everyone. But in today's social media climate, one wrong joke can become a viral outrage campaign. Still, I have faith in Rockstar. They've never missed, not once. And if anyone can navigate this minefield while still making a killer game, it's them. So after all this, why do we love Rockstar Games? 1. They let us be the bad guy. In a world where every game wants us to save humanity, GTA lets us be chaotic criminals, and that's liberating. 2. They innovate constantly. Every Rockstar game pushes boundaries and tries new things. They're not content to coast on past success. 3. The stories are actually good. Not just good for a video game, actually good. Movie-quality narratives that stay with you. 4. The worlds feel alive. From the radio stations to the pedestrian dialogue to the random encounters, Rockstar games have a level of detail that's unmatched. 5. They don't rush. While other studios pump out annual releases, Rockstar takes 5 to 10 years between major games. Quality over quantity. 6. The marketing is brilliant. Less is more. Create hype, then disappear. Let the fans do the work. 7. The attitude. Rockstar doesn't apologize for being edgy. They don't water things down. They make the games they want to make, and if you don't like it, tough. 8. The track record. Name one bad Rockstar game. I'll wait. You can't, because there aren't any. Before we wrap up, we need to give credit where it's due. To DMA Design and all the developers who actually built these games. The Houser brothers get the spotlight, and they deserve recognition for their vision and leadership. But let's not forget, Dave Jones and the original DMA team who created the first GTA. Leslie Benzies, who became lead developer and technical genius behind GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and GTA 4. The thousands of developers, artists, writers, and designers who put in insane hours to make these games perfect. And here's a cool twist. Dave Jones, the founder of DMA Design, eventually left Rockstar because he was tired of the corporate changes and wanted to do his own thing. He went on to create Crackdown, which is basically, what if GTA but you're a superhero cop? It didn't reach GTA's heights, but it showed that the original genius was still innovating. DMA Design, which became Rockstar North, deserves immense credit. They were the technical wizards who turned the Houser brothers' vision into reality.
Look, at the end of the day, Rockstar Games represent something special in the gaming industry. In an era of microtransactions, battle passes, live service games, and annual releases that are basically the same game with updated rosters, Rockstar still makes complete, polished, innovative games that respect your time and intelligence. Are they perfect? No. The crunch culture reports are concerning. GTA Online's monetization can be predatory, and yeah, we've been waiting for GTA 6 for over a decade. But when that game finally drops, and mark my words, it will drop, it's going to be worth the wait, because Rockstar doesn't miss. They've proven it time and time again, from that buggy top-down game in 1997, where you ran over pixelated pedestrians, to the upcoming $2 billion masterpiece that will probably break every entertainment record ever set. We love Rockstar because they give us what we secretly want, the freedom to be bad in the best possible way. So here's to Sam Hauser, Dan Hauser, DMA Design, and every developer who's worked on these games. Here's to the police chase bug that became a feature. Here's to getting 5 stars and seeing how long you can survive. Here's to stealing virtual cars, robbing virtual banks, and living out our virtual criminal fantasies. And most importantly, here's to GTA 6. May it be everything we hope for, and more. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a tank to steal and a wanted level to maintain. Thanks for watching, gamers. Hit that subscribe button if you want more deep dives into gaming history, and drop a comment telling me your favorite GTA moment. Was it the train mission? The hot coffee scandal? That time Trevor did literally anything? Let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay chaotic.